Good day everyone, my name is Deril-ann Sumait. Today, I'm going to be talking about the impact factor. Why impact factor? A quantitative indicator for the importance of the journal, and in terms of reader, which journal I should read. And for the author, which journal should I submit the research paper. The impact factor helps you to get a good assessment of the journals, especially when you encounter journals in the same field. ISI impact factor is a measure of the relative importance of a particular journal within its scope of subject field. Thomson Reuters Master Journal List contains journals that have been approved by the institution after meeting certain standards. According to its official website, about 2,000 journals submit their application every year, of which about 10% to 12% of journals are accepted and listed on the JSI journals. ISI journals. Journals that were on this list in previous year may also be excluded. These are the following criteria are used to evaluate a journal. First, content. Whether or not the journal's content adds to existing knowledge. Second, international diversity. That is the extent to which journal topics and address international topics and issues. And third, publication standards, such as timely publication and clear paper and journal review process. And lastly, the citation analysis, the amount of citation to journal editorial papers. A journal impact factor was invented by Thomson Reuters, or the ISI. ISI was founded by Eugene Garfield in the year 1958. An impact factor also is a quantitative metric for evaluating, comparing, and ranking scientific journals in different fields at the national or international level. Eugene Garfield created the impact factor in the year 1950s, which is available through Thomson Reuters Journal citation reports. And this metric reflects the total citation in a given year to all papers published in the past 2 years, divided by the number or the total number of articles and reviews published in the past 2 years. Following, you see the formula by which the impact factor is calculated. Here in the figure 1, is stated here that calculation for journal impact factor. In letter A is equal to total cites in the year 1992. B is equal to 1992 cites to article published in 1990 to 1991. This is a subset of A. And C, number of articles published in 1990 to 1991. And D is equal to B all over C is equal to 1992 impact factor. These are the calculation for journal impact factor. And impact factor is calculated and published only for the publication and index in Thomson Reuters Web of Science database. As such, only ISI journals have a true impact factor. And the impact factor was produced by Clarivate, formerly Thomson Reuters, published annually in the month of June. So one of the best ways to find impact factor of ISI journals is to use this link, where you are needed to enter and search the ISSN number in the relevant box to show the impact factor. So these are the impact factor pros and cons also. Since the impact factor has been created, many disputes have been made about it, and many have considered it unscientific and invalid. The impact factor is a general scale for evaluating a journal's credibility, but caution should be exercised in using it. So these are the pros and cons. First is the field diversity. What does this field diversity is? So we should not compare the impact factor of different fields and disciplines. For example, in psychology, is an interdisciplinary field and many researchers use it. So the impact factor of this journal is often high. But for example, for the nursing, because it is very specialized and only researchers of the fields use it, its journals have a low impact factor. That is for the first one is field diversity, and the second one is the language diversity is. So language diversity, a very important and basic point is that the English ISI journals factor is higher than that of that other languages. That is for the language. And third is the research speed. In terms of research speed, we have in some disciplines research speed is high, such as biology and immunology, but in other disciplines, including the humanities and article, can work. Over time, for these disciplines, the 5-year impact factor is usually more valid. Remember, that is more valid. And fourth is the free access. Some journals publish their articles for free on the internet, while other journals need others to pay for it. And this can also affect the impact factor. And then we have here the types of impact factor. Impact factor is a measure of the relative importance of a particular journal within the scopes of subject fields. So just like what I discussed to you earlier about the impact factor. And 5-year impact factor. This type of impact factor is more applicable to discipline whose growth in scientific arena is slower, and the theories of papers and the field can find their true place over time. So the 5-year impact factor is mostly used in the humanities. So mostly used in humanities. So the 5-year impact factor is the average number of times in terms of articles from the journal published in the past 5 years have been cited in the JCR year. Is trusted source of finding journals ranking, or the JCR Journal Citation Report is an annually publication by Clarivate Analytics. It is calculated by dividing the number of citations in the JCR year by the total number of articles published in the 5 previous years. And then we have here immediacy, I should say. Immediacy index. This is the average number of times an article is cited in the year it is published, and indicates whether journal articles are considered as published. So, example, how quickly articles in the journals are cited. The index is mostly used for disciplines where speed of science production is very high, such as biology, immunology. The calculate to immediacy index the number of citations to articles published in the year X is divided by the number of articles published in the year. That is the immediacy index. And then the next one here is the aggregate impact factor. If you want to compare the impact factor of all journals is one scientific field with another field, we can use this impact factor, the aggregate impact factor, and compare with those of another discipline. However, the criterion is a little used in light of the criticism over the impact factor itself, that it cannot compared among different disciplines because of their nature. And the next one here is the H index. The H index was invented in the year 2005 by George Eduardo Hirsch, an Argentine-American professor of physics at the University of California, San Diego. And Hirsch also is an index that attempts to measure both productivity and citation impact of the publication of a scientist or scholar by number. So the index of a researcher is calculated by the total number of papers published, or NP, and the number of citation, or NC, for each paper. And also, impact factor may be a good criterion for measuring the quality of journals due to its limitation. It should not be used as a standard comparison between disciplines. Besides, a 2-year publications window is too short for most journals, especially those which has not reached complete maturity. Anyway, where to find impact factor? We can find an impact factor through journal citation report. So under the journal citation report, we have the annually covers science and social science. And then that is for the impact factors. So before I will end my presentation, I want to read this quotation by Albert Einstein. Not everything that can be counted counts, and not everything that counts can be counted. So thank you very much for listening, and God bless us all. Thank you.